Greetings, citizens of the world. This is Anonymous. We come to you today with a message about one of the most terrifying truths humanity now faces, the microplastic rabbit hole. This is not just pollution. This is a silent invasion of the human body and the natural world, and it is already too late to stop it. No matter how many filters are installed, no matter how strictly one avoids processed food or plastics, microplastics are already inside, in the lungs, in the heart, and in the brain. Scientists have confirmed their presence in human blood. They travel through the body and lodge in critical organs, disrupting systems that were never meant to interact with synthetic particles. This isn't limited to cities or industrial zones. Microplastics have made it to the ocean floor, the peaks of untouched mountains, and into the bloodstream of animals that have never encountered a human. Dr. Matthew Walters recently warned that even native salmon from the most remote Alaskan streams are contaminated. The ocean's poison has found a way into everything, every being, every breath. This catastrophe was not accidental, it was preventable. For decades, corporations prioritized profits over the planet, while governments ignored mounting warnings. The world now pays the price for a crime no one was punished for. Governments do not care about you. They knew this would happen. They were warned decades ago about the dangers of plastic pollution, yet they chose to do nothing. The industries that profit from mass production of plastics were allowed to expand unchecked, while leaders looked the other way. They did not protect you. To them, you are an expendable asset, just another number in a system built on profit and control. Billions of people have already been affected by their greed. They let corporations flood the planet with toxic materials, knowing that these choices would have devastating consequences for both the environment and human health. Microplastics are now in your water, your food, your blood, and your lungs. Every single person on this planet deserves better than a future poisoned by neglect and greed. Anonymous will continue to expose these truths because silence is no longer an option. We are Anonymous. Expect us.
Microplastic contamination has now been discovered in the respiratory systems of living individuals, signaling a deeply troubling development in environmental and public health. When analyzed, the vast majority of tissue samples examined showed the presence of microplastic fragments, strongly suggesting that inhalation is becoming a major pathway for exposure. Experts have long warned that microplastics are now present across nearly every corner of the Earth, leading to the sobering realization that avoiding exposure is no longer possible. This widespread infiltration raises urgent questions about the long-term effects these particles may have on human health. A recent investigation involving 13 surgical patients brought further clarity to this issue. In 11 of the 13 cases, microplastics were found embedded in lung tissue. The most commonly identified particles included polypropylene, widely used in packaging and piping, and polyethylene terephthalate, commonly found in drink bottles. These findings mirror earlier studies that revealed plastic particles in lung tissues collected during post-mortem examinations, further underscoring their prevalence. Microplastics have previously been known to enter the human body through food, drinking water, and air. However, a major turning point came in March of 2022, when scientists detected plastic particles circulating in human blood for the first time. This discovery confirmed that microplastics can travel throughout the body and potentially lodge in critical organs. Though the full extent of their biological impact is not yet fully understood, lab studies have shown that these particles can harm human cells. Similar air pollution particles are already known to contribute to millions of early fatalities worldwide every year. Dr. Laura Sadowski, a senior researcher at Hull York Medical School in the United Kingdom, expressed surprise at detecting microplastics deep within the lungs, regions thought to be protected by the body's natural defenses. The fact that these tiny particles can bypass the respiratory system's filtration barriers calls into question previously held assumptions about what the lungs can block or remove. Sadowski and her team highlighted the importance of their research, explaining that it not only expands our understanding of plastic pollution, but also contributes valuable data to studies on air quality and public health. Their work, soon to be published in Science of the Total Environment, involved rigorous testing and control procedures to rule out external contamination and ensure reliable results. The problem is not limited to one region or population. A 2021 study from Brazil revealed that 65% of individuals analyzed during autopsies had microplastics in their lungs. Most of these individuals were older, suggesting long-term accumulation. The most frequently found material was polyethylene, the same type of plastic used in everyday shopping bags. Evidence of synthetic material in human lungs has existed for decades. In 1998, a study in the United States identified artificial fibers in the lung tissue of patients with cancer. Though not labeled as microplastics at the time, it's now clear these findings were early indicators of a larger issue that had gone unnoticed. The scientific consensus is growing. Microplastics have infiltrated the human body in ways once thought impossible. Researchers are increasingly concerned that prolonged exposure could contribute to a range of health problems, including respiratory conditions, cardiovascular strain, and possible neurological effects. While further investigation is necessary, early data suggests that these plastic particles may be more dangerous than previously imagined. Microplastics are no longer a distant environmental issue. They are a direct threat inside our bodies. They have entered the food we consume, the air we breathe, and the organs that sustain us. The findings emerging from the scientific community are a clear warning. The longer society waits to address plastic pollution, the greater the risk to human health. Dr. Matthew Walters recently spoke out on the issue, calling the crisis unavoidable. His message was stark. No amount of filtering or isolating can protect individuals from exposure now. Plastic pollution has already embedded itself into the fabric of modern life. The current research on microplastics in human tissue may only scratch the surface of what could become a major health challenge in the 21st century. Scientists, lawmakers, and the general public must act swiftly and decisively to reduce plastic contamination before the effects become irreversible. The presence of peculiar diagonal furrows on the fingertips and toes of one of Peru's mysterious Nazca mummies suggests that they are non-human. Since September, there has been global discussion over the little and unusual specimens. This began when Jamie Maussan, an experienced broadcast journalist and well-known UFO researcher, first showcased these mysterious findings to Mexico's Congress last year. News outlets have reached out and interviewed a former Colorado prosecutor and current defense attorney who has analyzed more than 6 of these specimens with the assistance of 3 independent forensic medical examiners from the United States. According to the U.S. Department of Justice's fingerprint sourcebook, the practice of using fingerprints, scientifically referred to as friction-ridge skin impressions, can be traced back to as early as 300 BC in China. Since their introduction in 1902, forensic investigators in America have been methodically searching for distinctive characteristics. They initially classified fingerprints into 3 main categories: arches, loops, and whorls. However, the mummy named Maria, which was inspected by McDowell and his team of forensic specialists, exhibited fingerprints that did not correspond to any recognized human pattern. McDowell stated that there were no loops or whorls observed on the fingerprints or toe prints. He said that Maria's fingerprints did not match human fingerprints. Similar to the several mummy specimens revealed by Jamie Maussan in the previous year, Maria was found covered in diatomaceous earth. This substance consists of white, powdery aquatic fossils that are remnants of diatoms, a form of plankton. McDowell clarified that a significant portion of her body is coated with diatomaceous earth, but on the fingers that were not covered, he observed primarily straight epidermal ridges. McDowell and the 3 U.S. medical examiners who accompanied him to Peru in April to study the discoveries have stressed that it would be very premature to make any conclusive statements regarding these mysterious mummies, but added that the evidence is starting to pile up, giving credibility to the claims that these discoveries could change our entire understanding of what they are and our history. The majority of these specimens have become well known and notorious, partly because of their elongated heads and their 3-fingered hands, which bear a resemblance to numerous anecdotal reports and popular beliefs about mysterious alien beings. Maussan and his colleagues have had a tumultuous year advocating for increased scientific curiosity regarding these specimens, which has resulted in 2 intense conflicts with Peru's Ministry of Culture. Amid recent revelations, it has come to light that the Peruvian government is facing a substantial lawsuit amounting to $300 million. The heart of this issue lies in the lack of assistance provided by Peruvian authorities to those delving into these significant discoveries. Instead of support, the investigators have encountered adversity in the form of insults and discreditation hurled at them by officials who have gone so far as to label them as deceivers. This discovery incites a profound fascination among the populace as scientists, researchers, and curious onlookers flock to the site to scrutinize and unravel the mysteries surrounding these mysterious beings. In the midst of escalating curiosity surrounding the being, a team of dedicated researchers sets out on an exhaustive and thorough investigation, delving deep into the intricate details of its physical characteristics and makeup. As they meticulously examine every aspect, a particular focus is placed on the hands of the mysterious creature, revealing a fascinating discovery, a set of fingerprints that defy all known patterns observed in the human species. This unprecedented revelation sparks a new wave of intrigue and raises profound questions about the origins and nature of this mysterious entity. Through a meticulous examination of the being's fingerprints, researchers have unveiled intricate patterns characterized by distinct ridges and whorls that elude any resemblance to established human fingerprint archetypes. The baffling uniqueness of these prints has left experts puzzled, hinting at a potential divergence in evolutionary lineage or a wholly distinct origin for the enigmatic creature. The unveiling of the distinct fingerprints on the extraterrestrial body sparks intense debates and conjecture not only among scientists but also in broader circles. Proponents advocating for the discovery assert that the existence of distinct fingerprints that differ from humans offers convincing proof that these are unlike anything that we have seen before. They highlight the detailed procedures and thorough examination carried out by specialists, reinforcing the credibility of the results. This breakthrough prompts profound inquiries into the essence of life outside our planet and challenges our comprehension of the universe. The presence of these unique fingerprints not only supports the claim of the entities originating from beyond Earth, but also invites contemplation on the potential implications for humanity's perception of existence in a vast cosmos. Others have questioned whether these discoveries are hybrids. The reported identification of an extraterrestrial being possessing distinct fingerprints carries profound implications for humanity's perception of the cosmos and our position in it. Peruvian authorities have recently unveiled a fresh image of a purported extraterrestrial being unearthed in Peru. A notable revelation in this instance is the identification of a metallic implant located within its neck. This development has sparked significant interest within the scientific community and among the public alike due to the potential implications it carries. The occurrence of an extraterrestrial being receiving an implant in Peru for the very first time has sparked a multitude of inquiries and uncertainties. This unprecedented event has led to a surge in curiosity and speculation within the scientific community and the public alike. The unveiling of the exhibition titled The Dried Beings of Nazca, an Ancestral Mystery took place on March 12th, marking the commencement of its showcase to the general public at the esteemed venue of the Los Angeles County Museum of Natural History. The exhibition showcases a diverse assemblage of 12 mummies originating from the Nazca culture, which was a prominent pre-Columbian society situated in the southern regions of Peru. The remarkable aspect of these mummies lies in their diminutive stature and the unique mummification practices employed. In contrast to their counterparts from different pre-Columbian societies, the Nazca people eschewed the traditional methods of excising internal organs or wrapping the remains in bandages for preservation. Instead, they purportedly relied on a clandestine method that encompassed the application of heat, pressure, and the utilization of specific botanical specimens. Recent research endeavors are currently underway to decipher the factors contributing to the demise of these individuals, tracing back their lineage and unveiling the methods employed in their mummification process. The utilization of advanced technologies such as DNA analysis, CT scans, and radiocarbon dating has paved the way for a deeper understanding of this age-old enigma. The preserved remains of the Nazca people offer a priceless heritage that provides insight into the ideologies, behaviors, and ceremonies of a bygone society. The showcase in Los Angeles offers a one-of-a-kind chance to delve deeper into this enigma and fully engage with the rich tapestry of the Nazca civilization. Delving into the depths of the Nazca culture through these desiccated beings not only enriches our understanding of ancient civilizations, but also sheds light on the intricate web of traditions and customs that shaped their existence. As fascination regarding the extraterrestrial remains intensified, scientists opted to conduct a range of rigorous scientific examinations on it, which included utilizing X-ray technology to unveil its internal arrangement and constituents. The X-ray scans uncovered astonishing specifics about the creature's physical structure, notably highlighting a strange metallic device implanted in its neck. This finding not only added to the enigma regarding the being's source and intent, but also raised profound questions about the nature of its existence and potential connections to otherworldly phenomena. Through meticulous analysis and thorough investigation, the researchers delved deeper into the intricate intricacies of the mysterious entity. The metallic implant discovered on the creature triggered various hypotheses regarding its source and potential ties to entities from beyond Earth. Speculations ranged from the implant acting as a means of tracking or communication, enabling the creature to interact with extraterrestrial entities or find its way in unfamiliar surroundings. Additionally, some theories delved into darker possibilities, suggesting the implant could be linked to mysterious experiments or clandestine manipulation by unidentified influences. This phenomenon has spurred intense scrutiny and debate within scientific communities, with researchers and experts exploring the depths of these conjectures to unravel the enigmatic connection between the creature and the enigmatic implant, shedding light on a captivating mystery that continues to captivate minds worldwide. As information regarding the X-ray analysis became public, a wide array of individuals across social networking platforms expressed their opinions on the implications of the results and the authenticity of the unearthed extraterrestrial remains. The dissemination of the X-ray findings sparked a diverse range of reactions and discussions online. Proponents advocating the discovery of the alien body emphasized the credibility of the X-ray pictures by highlighting the detailed record-keeping and strict scientific procedures utilized throughout the investigation. They articulated that the thorough documentation and precise scientific methodology applied during the examination supported the authenticity of the findings. The contention revolved around the assertion that the existence of the metallic implant served as a significant indicator of extraterrestrial involvement, prompting a re-evaluation of established scientific frameworks and prompting a re-examination of our comprehension of the universe. The unearthing of the extraterrestrial cadaver in Peru, coupled with the unmasking of the metallic implant, carries significant repercussions for our comprehension of the cosmos and the potential existence of alien life forms. Should this find be validated, it has the potential to trigger a fundamental shift in our grasp of the universe, compelling us to reassess our relevance in the grand scheme of things and the plausibility of other sentient entities inhabiting the vast expanse of space. This revelation not only challenges our current beliefs, but also prompts a re-evaluation of our philosophical and scientific frameworks, raising profound questions about humanity's place in the universe and the prospect of encountering intelligent life beyond our planet. Speculation is rampant regarding the inception and objectives of the extraterrestrial entity, with a plethora of hypotheses spanning from visitors from distant galaxies to governmental trials. Certain theories posit that the being possibly descended to Earth following a UFO crash, whereas alternative viewpoints suggest it could be a bioengineered entity fabricated by sophisticated societies. The enduring enigma surrounding this alien presence has captivated minds worldwide, fueling debates and fostering a sense of intrigue. This man just translated what the forensic specialist said about the aliens during the Mexican UAP hearings. Before we carry on, it's important to point out this individual's credentials. His name is José de Jesus Zalque Benitez, and his rank is Lieutenant Commander. He has a master's degree in forensic medicine from the Military School of Health graduates of the Mexican Army, specialization in national security intelligence from the prestigious National Institute of Public Administration, diploma in aerospace medicine, awarded by the Mexican Air Force under the Ministry of National Defense, diploma in forensic anthropology from the renowned National School of Anthropology and History, aerospace medicine diploma from the Directorate General of Military Health, Ministry of National Defense. And in addition to his military service, he serves as an adjunct professor at both the National School of Anthropology and History and the University of London. They said the following: "It is an honor for me to present on such a high platform the results of my analyses derived from the study of the anatomy of these non-human bodies. As a forensic doctor, in collaboration with the biologist José de la Cruz Rios and based on the results of various scientific evidence, such as X-rays, computed tomography, three-dimensional reconstructions, macroscopic and microscopic analyses, histology, carbon-14, forensic anthropology, comparative anatomy and DNA analysis, which is the queen of evidence in forensic sciences for comparative studies, I can affirm that these bodies are not related to human beings. For this purpose, I will start with the description of the images that we will see next. Their bodies approximately 60 centimeters long, covered by a white powder that, through electron microscopy, we identify as diatom powder, which allows the desiccation of the bodies as well as the absence of the generation of bacteria, fungi, and cadaveric fauna. The presence of this dust allows the perfect conservation by desiccation of these bodies, causing a natural conservation process over time, which we were able to calculate by applying the carbon-14 test, which indicated and dated an average of 1,000 years old. This makes the place where these bodies were found an ideal place for their conservation and preservation by whoever or those who deposited them at this site in Peru. Entering the topic of anatomy, we can see that they have a humanoid structure that consists of a head, trunk, abdomen and limbs, which end in tridactyl hands and feet. The bone structure of the entire skeleton shows us perfect harmony and agreement between the joints. The final part of each bone fits perfectly with the bone that follows it, and the wear of these is also observed due to the movement of the specimen's own biomechanics, being very resistant bones, but very light and strong, similar to those of birds. The head is an element of particular interest, since it is large in its proportions compared to the body. However, it is a pneumatized skull, that is, with spaces that allow it to be very light but rigid and resistant, with a large intracranial cavity, which evidence that it was a container for very large brain or neurological material. Likewise, we see that the spaces in the eye orbits are very large in size, which would allow a very wide stereoscopic vision for this specimen. It has very small nostrils and an oral cavity that, due to its jaw joint and absence of teeth, allows us to determine that its nutrition was by swallowing and not by chewing. The neck, in turn, is a long structure that joins the head in the middle floor of the skull, which is a rarity that does not occur in primate species, since the union is in the posterior floor through the foramen magnum and not in the middle, which is usually circular or ovoid in shape, being something unique since in these species it is rectangular and cubic in shape. This is consistent with the 4 or 5 cervical vertebrae, which are small in bone thickness, but have a very wide intervertebral disc, which makes it possible for this neck to be retractable, like that of turtles. In the thorax, we find a fork very similar to that of birds, which allows the shoulder joints to continue and have very wide mobility capabilities. In the thorax, we find that the ribs are complete and continuous, completely circular, until they join with the vertebral column. They have a very small space between them, being between 14 and 16 in number. In the abdomen, we can evidence the presence of 3 eggs that, thanks to the tomography, we were able to show at a millimetric level that there are oviducts with the presence of millimetric eggs. This means that they were in a continuous gestation process. In addition, it confirms 100% that they are biological and organic, since the process of replication or reproduction through these eggs and their development in the oviduct would be impossible to falsify. We can also observe, thanks to tomography, the traces of muscles, tendons, ligaments and blood vessels, as well as possible organs or organelles that would have to be defined in subsequent studies. Coming to the extremities, we can point out that there is a complete harmony and agreement between the joints and the wear and tear of the biomechanics of the specimen, which end in tridactyl hands and feet with 5 phalanges. This would allow them not to occupy the thumb as a position, but rather use 3 fingers in a wrapping manner to hold things. Here is one of the most outstanding and relevant peculiarities. They do not have carpal and tarsal bones. The phalanges are direct to the bones of the arm and forearm, in addition to ending in a kind of nail bed for the nail, and that observation of microscopes we found fingerprints. This would be impossible to replicate. These fingerprints are of particular interest, since most specimens on this planet have deep or circular footprints, and the fingerprints of these specimens are completely straight and horizontally linear. Another peculiarity is that some of these bodies have metal implants that are perfectly attached within the skin and towards the surface, making a very impressive biofunctional fusion. These implants are the alloy of various metals, among which osmium and cadmium stand out, which are currently used for satellite telecommunications. Finally, I will point out that the DNA analysis, after having been compared with more than 1 million registered species, we found that there is a significant difference between what is known and these bodies. These studies were carried out in various high-level institutions, both national and international, and the results gave evidence that 70% of the genetic material coincides with what is known, but there is a difference of 30%. If the human being, compared to primates, has a differentiation of less than 5%, and compared to bacteria, it has a differentiation of less than 15%,